Alright, tweets out, bots going, Discord will be up shortly. Hello, Internet! It's Monday Clues, because we weren't able to do the show last night. Yeah, it's Clue tonight, and depending on what Tommy tells me, I guess later, if he's able to. Halo is Tuesday, or maybe not. There won't be a Halo this week. They might just pick it up where we left off a couple weeks ago on Friday. I don't know. That's like the options at the moment, and Tommy will tell me what we're doing. I guess whenever he hops on for TGSR. But tonight is Clue as we continue to try to get the achievements, as we try to get some wins with green. Since I need 6 more wins with green. But first, because I didn't get to talk about it yesterday, it's Soda Blog. And the reason I'm a little late, like 15 minutes late, is because I was... One second. Playlist. Why can't you just be global and just turn on and off when I want you to? Reason I was late is I was watching Soda Pop's video on this blog post. Make sure I wasn't missing anything on my understanding of what was going on in there. Which I wasn't, so cool. Anyway, as you can see, fucking completer form. Hi. Decade Complete 21 completer form. It is in book 6. And so is Decade Saber form. Because fuck it, why not, I guess. So both of these are coming out. The Decade Saber form is pretty much the Decade figure we got back in Geo's line. The only difference is the Saber Brave Dragon chest and face stickers. Does come with the Hey Saber. But to spice up this release, and since I guess they had budget left over, Ride Watch holding hands of the closed and open variety. And all of the main rider stickers except for Decades, because that would be a unique mold, and Geo's because it's already in the driver. So I would give you that one. But yeah, they managed to put this together because they weren't able to figure it out during Geo and people were requesting it. But they did finally figure out how to do something like this for 01 for the Pro Guys holding hands we got in... I forget the release in 01, but we got that. And so they finally figured it out. So they got hands in here to do it. There's some holes in the hands for, like, production purposes. But they're here. And then Decade Complete 21... It's got all the stickers and stuff, and it's got this hole in the helmet because it's in the suit, and they're like, fuck it. And it's got all the appropriate stickers for all the belts and stuff, including a sticker for the right booker when it's on the waist, because we didn't do that when we did Right Plus Decade, so we're doing it here for Decade Complete and Completer. Also, the cape has all the stickers, and as you can see, the secondary rider slot for Kuga is Super Rising, or is Rising Ultimate, not Super Rising Ultimate. That's actually the SIC form. But Rising Ultimate is in the secondary rider slot instead of a blank card. I guess that counts since he's technically actually the third Kuga. Fourth if we go by the novel, but that is neither here nor there at this point. Anyway, it's here. It's a thing. I still don't like this suit. It's so bad, but it's Decades bad, and I'm like... Although I have seen, like, I've skimmed through the episode 3s of the Decade Geo and Geo Decade specials, and this suit gets jobbed out fucking clean in like 5 seconds. And I'm like, wow. Fucking hell. Don't even give this suit a proper fight scene. Just give it a junk one. Why am I not surprised? It fucking anyway wrote this. There's more bullshit attached to that series, but that's shit for another day that I don't feel like dealing with. He also comes with the DN driver, or the Neo DN driver, which I swear I didn't see him wield in the fight. But he does have it in some promotional shots, so it's here. Now, in the accessory set we're getting in Book 6, they also mentioned that due to survey results, or survey responses, the King Rouser from Blade's King form is being included as an extra weapon for your Grand Geo. Excuse me. Which is cool that we're getting that. Kind of for a second King Rouser recently. Sorry, I was reading something in Discord about Primitive Dragon. Apparently it doesn't have a reader, actually. It just presses the button for the book when you slot it in for Primitive Dragon, which is an okay, cool. I have thoughts about Saber's recent episode, because I also watched that before streaming, because Gomingo's watch-along went up, and I watched it with them. But yeah, this is coming in the accessory set, so this is all Book 6, and this is all slated for April. So there is no Soto, like, mainline Soto release next month. I believe the only two Candy Toy releases are, because I mentioned this in Frozen Stratos' like stickering stream last week, because he mentioned it and I double checked it, is, once I scroll down far enough, technically there is like the Candy Toy like mini roleplay Zenkaiger stuff in like the Gashapon or the Candy Toy Zenkaiger medals. There's like an Anime Gear release for those that like Anime Gear. I still haven't gotten like the Wolf Anime Gear because I really like that Wolf Anime Gear. I need to put it on the list of like alerts on Monorake at some point. But Shoto 05, which is the Get 'em in Friends set, which is like Get 'em's like level 2, level 0, level X, and level X0 forms. Lingal from Blade, and then the regular Joker and albino Jokers also from Blade. And then Chronicle release, the premium Bandai Chronicle release of the Genesis Rider sets, which is Duke, Marika, and Sigurd, which I'll be on the patrol on Monorake, I guess towards the end of that month, because I did not pre-order that one, and I have a feeling it will be a pain in the ass to get a hold of. Great. There's my third premium Bandai set I'm going to be, like, getting in. It's going to be a pain in the ass to get a hold of. Joy. Yay for me. Oh, also, like, Choto 8 comes out that month. I forgot about Choto 8. I don't remember what's in Choto 8, unfortunately. I think, isn't it? Google Translate, help me out here. At least get me in the ballpark so I might remember what the fuck's in this. What is it? Nexus, Evil Tiga, or actually Future Tiga, technically. Or no, it's like Prehistoric Tiga. I remember reading the context of it, and it's just like, yes, this is Dark Tiga, but it's not a dark version of Tiga from the series. It's like a past version of Tiga. Or it's a person that looks like Tiga, that is technically evil, so it's Evil Tiga. And then it's Jack, Ultraman Jack, and then it's Gudon, the monster. Anyway. Yeah, Book 6 is in April. And before today, Book 5 was slated for April, and Book 6 was slated for May. As it turns out, those are getting pushed back as well. Book 5 is now in May, Book 6 is now in June. So they're spacing out the book sets again. So they're re-spacing out the book sets so they're back out to monthly releases. Which makes sense, they usually try to keep these to monthly. They rarely, if ever, overlap on it. They rarely, if ever, double up on a month, which is fine by me. Because I've even with the today's this past week's episode of Saber with Primitive Dragon's debut, like I kind of liked it. Kind of, I liked Primitive Dragon's debut because it's just like, oh, you're like a possessed Saber. Okay, I'll take this. But there's no real context to what the fuck Primitive really is. And like why it's a forbidden tome. They're just like, it's a forbidden tome that we locked away because it was a threat to humanity and blah 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 blah. Like they gave like no more context to it at all. And it was kind of stupid. That we got no more on this thing. So, yay, more questions. And then they kept showing this like kid during the Primitive Dragon transformation, and I'm like, okay, Tassel said that other people have tried to use Primitive Dragon, like not necessarily Primitive Dragon, but the tome that was created, tome that Primitive Dragon was created from. So I'm like, okay, was this like someone else who used Primitive Dragon, or are you the reason Primitive Dragon was created? God, I don't have enough investment in the show to actually give a shit. That's my biggest problem, is I have no investment in the series. I'm more or less just watching to just, I guess, stay in the loop about the show. And, like, I don't know, watch material connected to it. Because, like, watching a watch-along without watching Saber is kind of meh. Because, like, more or less, go back to our old TGSR episodes. That's kind of what it's like, where it's just like, oh, there's the occasional reaction from us as we talk about it. But otherwise, we're kind of actually watching the show. Are people really that upset about Dino Fury Green's skirt? Like, okay. I thought we all kind of assumed it was going to have a skirt. Except, I don't know, and I don't give a shit. But yeah, Saber, like, maybe Saber has gotten better, but it's not better enough for me to feel I'm back invested in the show, because so much of early Saber is just not good for me. And it's hard for me to come back around on a show, because I guess for me, I view the show as a whole, not as, like, individual parts. So that's probably also why I like it. It's hard for me to get invested in a Sentai show, because Sentais really come in their own, like, late game. Like, late game Sentais are really, like late game Sentai is honestly really good at points. Like, Loop Hat's, like, late game stuff is actually really good. I really enjoyed late game Loop Hat, but to get to that, you kind of have to go through, like, some, like, decent to good episodes, but nothing really spectacular. And I think that's the same with, like, Dino Furies as well. Or not Dino Fury. Ryusoger. Because, like, I was kind of fine with Ryusoger for, like, most of the run, but, like, as soon as, like, Nada died and we got Ryusol Max, I was out. Because, like, I was, like, I just lost interest in the show. And even though that was the start of their end game. But, like, I saw the last episode and I was like, this is a really good episode. Too bad I just didn't finish the show. I just couldn't find enough investment to, like, stick around for, like, the last, like, 10 or 12 episodes, I think it was. But yeah, it's hard for me to come back around on a show if it's, like, not firing on all cylinders all the time. Or at least firing on cylinders most of the time. Granted, I think Saber's character work could be better, because I feel like it's lacking on character work, and that often, like, can carry a show if it's not doing a lot of plot work. That's why I love Doubles so much, is that it does good character work for, like, it's, like, cases of the week, or cases of bi-weeks, and, like, Shotaro, Philip, and everyone else, like, it just does good character work, and that's what carries me through the show, even if the case may not be the most interesting in the world. Granted, the cases are actually really good, for the most part. We're ignoring Heaven's Tornado. So yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna come around on Saber. I still have Saber Soto from when I was picking up the 0-1 stuff, and it was easier for me to pick up the case than trying to, like, piecemeal out different, like, smaller stuff. It was like, if it was like half the assortment, I was just like, I'll just grab the whole thing and then sell the Saber stuff later. I still need to sell the Saber stuff and Geo stuff I have, because, like, I don't think I'm coming around on Saber. And even if I did, like, the stuff I have is not the stuff I want. Pretty much, it's, like, book, like, 3 and onward right now with the releases is what I would want at the moment, if I did come around on Saber, and I don't suspect I will, unfortunately. Anyway, that's not all for the Soto blog, now that I'm off my long tangent. O's Chronicle. The O's Poseidon medals. Apparently that O's figure did really well on pre-orders, because they're giving us not 1, not 2. Hang on, let me scroll down further. Not 3, but all 4 of the remaining CSMO's forms. So we're getting the insect combo, which, if you're watching me play through Memory of Heroes, you'll recognize this combo, because this was in Memory of Heroes. This is something they threw in there because they could, I guess, along with the greed associated with it. But yeah, it looks really good. The head looks nice. I like the Zabi style, like, stinger and, like, shield setup. Like, it looks, I really like this one. We also get the Crustacean combo, which is technically the Black Core medals from Movie War Core, and technically the Cell medals as well, because Birth often uses the Scorpion Cell medal to transform, because Birth is technically Scorpion themed, if the Claw systems, like, Clawsosauri didn't give that away. So this is like the Black Core medals in reverse order, technically, because normally it is Scorpion, Crab, Shrimp, but this is Shrimp, Crab, Scorpion. They're, like, reverse order in these, like, orange purplish colors. Looks cool. The pincers move, which is a really nice touch. And then we have the, like, polar combo, which is Walrus, Polar Bear, Penguin. Looks really nice. I believe, because I've seen the layouts from when Premium Bandai pre-orders went up yesterday, that, and let me double check these, because I believe Toku Lector has those exact images up on their listings for the stuff. And lucky it's, like, the 2 of their first 3 tweets, so. Yeah, the insect combo comes with extra pair of open hands, the O scanner hand, and a Metal because, like, each of these 2 sets is coming with a Metal more or less. And then the Crustacean combo is coming with no extra hands, because, you know, crab hands. But this Polar release, I don't think is coming with extra hands, which makes me think that, much like the Crustacean hands, these are just one, or it looks like it's technically, like, 2 pieces, because of, like, the seam you see. But it's more or less just plugging into the, like, the elbow joint. Or at least it's clasping around something that's on the elbow joint, I assume. And then we have the horned combo, the deer, antelope, cow. But polar combo looks good. Even got the little penguin flipper feet. And then the horned combo with its cow pants, as Blade Reader loves to say. They look really nice. It's really good, like, set of 5 figures. Although I'm honestly surprised we're getting these 5 before we get Poseidon and Aqua. And I assume part of that is because, like, design-wise, these 5 are, like, really close to a lot of the work they've already done with, like, every single other O's combo to date. So, less design work has to go into them than it does Poseidon and Aqua, especially Aqua, because he's, like, a completely different design. Plus, it's a villain figure and a movie hero figure, which is an incredibly rare thing in Rider. Let me tell you. But yeah. These have already went up for pre-order. They're like $46.20 a piece, but Took Collectibles has them for like 70 something. So that's like $20 shipping from Premium Bandai to them, and then like how much ever like middleman fees is that, plus like shipping to you, which their normal shipping is like free, but I'm like, I assume that free comes with a price that is already tacked on, and you're just paying extra to get it to you faster. I assume. I don't know if Took Collectible will ever confirm that or not. But I assume your standard shipping price is included in the price you pay for the figure. It's just you're swapping out for faster shipping if you decide to pay extra. And then a reminder, Book 5, since it just came out, I will hopefully have Arc Scorpion and Arc 01 soon, because I ordered them through the middleman I use, because there used to be a store on Rakuten, it was like AUC Toy Santa. They shipped to the US, and that's how I got a lot of my mini Pla, was that they shipped to the US. But then they stopped shipping to the US, and I was like, oh. But their store actually is technically still open, you just have the middleman through them. And lo and behold, after I rediscovered this, I was like, well, you used to do Mini Pla, and you used to do Soto. I used to get Mini Pla releases through you. Let me see if you do Soto. Oh, look, you do Soto. Let me pick this up from you real quick. Because that's also where I got all of the Gaim Chronicle stuff I'm picking up. And that's pretty much it. And I will double check this translation, because I believe it's just Book 6 next week. Yep, just Book 6 next week. Excuse me. Or not green, plum. My bad. Plum's who I need. Plum I need 4 wins on, or 6 wins on. This Wario Waluigi fusion dance. Let me make sure it's actually 6. Yeah, it's 6. I thought so. But I'm hoping to get that in because it also has the rest of the Ryusoulger mini Pla I never got, which was just like Cosmos Raptor, like Shiny Raptor, Shadow Raptor, which combined form Cosmo Raptor, Punchy Gal, and like the Pterodon. Like those 4 are the only ones I'm missing out of Ryusoulger mini Pla. And I was like, I was gonna pick these up eventually, but I never really saw them until I found them on through Middleman at places for a decent price, and I was like, I'll grab them, and I'll grab Stronger and charge up in Stronger's bike while I'm at it. That way, I like clean out a lot of backlog, or not necessarily a lot of backlog when it comes to the Soto or Shoto, but like a bunch of stuff. Because like one of my goals for like this year is to be caught up on backlog stuff. So like the backlog I have of Figure Arts of like more or less just build stuff and like Agito's bike. Like I want that like done so I never have to worry about it ever again. And same with Soto. I want at this point like cross build from the movie the double Axel Skull set. Or just the Axel Skull set for Soda, which I technically have pre-ordered through Big Bad Toy Store, but they're probably never going to fulfill it. Never, not in a million fucking years, I don't think, at this point. I'm tempted to email them to ask about it. Let's see if they give me a reason for why they keep delaying it. Because it's a really good price for the set, but they keep pushing it back monthly. Because, like, right now it's slated to be released this month, but they'll probably just push it back to March. So it's like, it's that set, the Burst set, and technically now the Genesis Rider set, since I didn't get the pre-order. Because since I have the money, I can, like, get these Premium Bandai pre-orders in now, so I don't have to go through the hassle and stuff of trying to track them out on the back end. Which is good. I think the only thing I'm not going to worry about is, like, the second Kuka bike set, because I'm like, well, those bikes shelf form on Monterake, I can just pick it up off there and be done. The only hope, and Blade Raider pointed this out in the Discord, is that if Took Collectibles is just like, yeah, we have a few extra of these Genesis Rider sets, here you go, like, who wants them? Well, poo. And maybe I can pick up one through them. Not. I was about to say, I go last in this, don't I? Because, like, yeah, I'm going last in rotation. Joy. Because once I get stronger and stronger charge up, which is for technically the display I showed off Saturday, all I'm missing is Ichigo Nigo, which I need to pick up Shin Ichigo, like proper new Ichigo. But what I want to pick up is the like original Nigo figure from like Shoto X1, because I have the parts to swap out and make that like Shin Nigo, but with the black helmet, which is the helmet he has in Megamax, because that's what I'm getting all this for to start with. Literally. Is more or less, I want my Showa Riders for Megamax plus tackle and charge up because fuck it, why not? I kind of would like to do like a Megamax display, but instead of like regular stronger, it's charge up stronger, and like tackles there with Nadeshiko because I like the visual of that, or like the idea of the visual of that. So here's just hoping for Chronicle Force at some point in the future. Honestly, it's like the one Chronicle line I'm looking forward to at the moment because, like, as a reminder, folks, because I probably talked about my favorite Rider shows on stream at some point, or not, I don't know. I don't remember. Anyway, I like most of the Phase 2 Riders, which is like double through Geo, is Heisei Phase 2. The only shows I don't like out of that batch are Ghost, which I don't necessarily hate like a lot of people do. I just find kind of boring, with some high spots, some pretty low spots, and a lot of meh in the middle, which is kind of what Saber's being turned into at the moment. And Geo, which I really don't like. As much as there's some, like, good nuggets that one could get out of Geo, like the cameos and all that, I don't like everything else about the show, if I'm being honest. Let's go to department store. We're kind of wide open. It's first turn. We just kind of guess whatever and see what shakes out. In this case, we meme. and see what happens. That's through 2. Is it through 3 or is it? Okay, I was about to say it's through 2. That's a good guess, to be honest. Department store. Okay. But I don't like Geo, even though I have ideas of like I would like to do customized for Geo. I'm just like, nope, I don't have any investment in Geo enough to actually like go forward with this. But I like every other like Phase 2 rider, and like technically my figure arts shelf, which is more of a figure arts cabinet really, is mostly Phase 2. The only things that are Phase 1 is it's the only other thing I have. Oh, that ended on me. Never mind. I was just like, what's this? Oh, right. I showed a card. That doesn't help. That gets me nothing. That's giving information, not getting information. But the only other Phase 1 writers I've liked is Kuga and Agito, which I'm starting to wonder if I might need to rewatch Agito, and I might come out of Agito with a very different opinion, because Agito, I believe, was my first exposure, like my first full exposure to Inoue. Toshiki Inoue's writing. And I still kind of like Agito. And like I know a lot of people love Fives. And Fives, I think, is full Toshiki Inoue. Whereas Ryuki is like half Inoue, and it's half, shoot, I forget her name. Yasuko Kobayashi. She writes like the other half of Ryuki. So, like, I don't really care for Ryuki. I've honestly liked Dragonite way more than I've liked Ryuki, and it's made me really consider, like, okay. Those are some very specific options we've got on those cards now. Those are like that's one slot, one possibility, or no, that's a 50-50 on 2 of them, and like a 30-30-30 on the third. Those are worth guessing. Like, splitting the guess on, like, to make sure we, like, don't overlap information, and we're not stopped too early, but, like, it's worth investigating that now. Especially with us already knowing one of Watson's cards at the moment. Thanks. Thanks, Peacock, for guessing 2/3 of my hand. Thank you. But I've really been enjoying Dragonite, like, more than Ryuki. And it's made me really consider, like, well, I have representations of every Rider series I like. And if I end up liking Dragonite by the time we're done with its look at TGSR, what do I do? Because, like, on one hand, because, like, there's no good option, really, for Ryuki. For me, personally. Like, rider-wise, well, that confirms that. which isn't, like, super surprising, to be honest. But Ryuki is, like, the only one currently with, like, all 13 riders, I think both alternatives. But for me, is missing a lot of the contract beasts, which is kind of what makes Ryuki unique, is its use of contract beasts. Let's go to Doc. I probably get stopped on Orchid. So we've been eliminating a lot of options for Orchid and not gotten a single one of her cards. And I'm very likely to end up on a card of hers. Just like that. I fucking knew it. I'm gonna pick a location that's in Orchid's hands. I know it. I checked Twitter real quick. Blade Raider just realized that Geo versus Decade and Decade versus Geo are two different things. Ah! Yeah, these specials weren't confusing at all. But yeah, the contract beasts are, like, what makes Ryuki kind of unique among the franchise, especially considering he's, like, the first of 3 based riders, and Blade and Decade do the gimmicks a lot better. Well, I'd say a lot better. They do them, like, very differently. And have, like, a bit more, like, differences to them in terms of, like, what they do. Because Blades, a lot of the card stuff is utility. It more, like, activates effects and stuff. And also is, like, what they do is you do their finishers. They use, like, combos of cards instead of, like, single-purpose cards. Like, the equivalent of a final event in Blade would be, like, specifically for Blade, I think it's, like, Kick and... was it Kick and Thunder? For, like, his first Rider Kick, and then it's Kick, Mach, and Thunder for his second Rider Kick. Instead of just a final event. But Decade, like, again, like, most of his cards are, like, utility. Like, he doesn't, like, summon unique things with his. Unless it's, like, the final form rides. But that answers that question. Alright, we're still waiting on a lot of answers for stuff. But yeah, like, it's missing the contract. We're missing a lot of the contract beasts from Ryuki, and I don't expect those to be made anytime soon because it's been forever since they've done a Ryuki figure at all, which is also the other issue of its figure arts. Figure arts tend to get hard to find over time, especially older ones, because, like, the Agito bike I'm after is a figure arts version. Well, the figure arts are, like, the Papinico DX version, and I can't find either for, like, a decent price. So, ugh. 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 Well, this ends with me. Okay, so Watson either has Plum or... Yeah, he had... Oh, it's Revolver then. Because it's either Plum or Museum. Because he hasn't shown... Because we don't know what card he showed on his first guess. So, it's one of those two. Almost guaranteed. Practically guaranteed at this point. So we know the weapon is Revolver then. And that's all the information, so I'm not going to double up on it. Also, I don't feel like going back on a Figure Arts hunt, because I'm like, I've had enough of Figure Arts' nonsense. But, like, there's no other option unless I go way back, because Candy Toy currently, really the only option is Shoto X. Because they... Ooh, that gives us Orchid. Which doesn't give us much more, but that gave us information. Alright, give me 1 second. Let me do my turn real quick. Because I do need to think on this one. Especially with what our options we get. What are options? Printer or Baker? It'd be smarter to go Baker. Like, if it's not, then it's at least off the table. Which might mean it ends up being printing press. We'll find out. Because we know it's Revol... Of course. Hi, White. Show me printing. Show me Baker Street. Show me Sherlock Holmes' house. I figured I wasn't gonna get that lucky. So location might end up being printing press unless we're getting swerved and it's something else, which is entirely possible. Weapons definitely Revolver. Scarlet and Scarlet, White, and Watson we also don't know where they are in any of this. There's Cricket Bat, which means you have Hyde Park, which doubly confirms Truncheon there. Which means we are 50-50 on location with no solid information on suspect. Fuck. Fuck. That sucks. Anyway, Shoto X is like the other option right now for Ryuki, and that's Candy Toys specific. And right now, it doesn't have what I want, really. And Shoto X is, like, the most consistent about what they do, completion of series-wise, because Shoto X is... Shoto in general is not as completionist as Soto is. So the only things they've done are Ryuki and Knight. Like, Ryuki, Knight, Oja, and Ryuga, and only Ryuki and Ryuja have their contract piece. Because they're both Drag Rider, and that was the slot for bike stuff. And that Shoto X set, that's repeat information. Fantastic. We all know all of Scarlet's cards, which that doesn't help us too much. It only, like, narrows it down ever so slightly. Might end up being Scarlet, since... Oh, White might probably has it. No. Okay, so Plum and or Museum are wrong. Because we know Revolver's right out of that guess. So which of those was right and wrong? Because either both of them could be wrong or one of them could be wrong. It's probably that Plum's wrong and Plum's in Watson's hand. Which we've known forever for that to possibly be the case, so. Or we know definitively it's either in Watson's hands or it's the suspect. This is it, isn't it? Shit. It's printing press. So either you're guessing Plum. It's Plum. As soon as I see that Plum card, I'm gonna be like, ah, it's Plum. Of course it is. Yep. So Peacock had Scarlet. You had Museum. Yep. You had Watson. And you had White. That's full card. And unfortunately, we didn't self-dunk ourselves in jail. Who? Poo-poo at you. But yeah, Shadow X isn't, like, really that complete. And, honestly, what I want out of a Dragonite, more or less, Ryuki Dragonite, whichever, they both count in this scenario since everyone's the same across the board. There's nothing actually unique in Dragonite that would carry over. It would just be Xaviax, really. Because we don't have technically a Xaviax figure, because he's unique to Dragonite in terms of designs, but there's not like a unique rider or anything like that. So. Where was I? What I want is, I would want, of course, Ryuki and Knight. So, Dragonite, Wing Knight. Since they are the main and secondary riders. I want, Fem, who we're going to be introduced to this week on TGSR as Siren. And I would want, Raya, aka Sting. And I would want Ryuki Survive or Dragonite Survive, because actually Survive stays as the name regardless of which show. And most importantly, I would want their everyone's contract piece, because again, that's the unique part of Ryuki. That's kind of an integral like part of the series. But right now, the only thing that fills all of those slots is Figure Arts. Because Figure Arts has all of them. The only problem is I think Blankwing, or whatever Blankwing's name is in Dragonite, essentially Fem or Siren's contract piece. It's the only one not present. Because Ryuki and Knight actually come with theirs. In their Figure Arts releases. As long as you get, like, the original ones. If you get the 20th anniversary, like, Ryuki one, it comes without Drag Ritter and I think the Guard Vent parts, if I read correctly. Also, hello.
Hello.
I actually just started a game. So, I might need to back out.
Go for it.
Okay. I was talking Ryuki Figure Arts and how they're laid out. Oh, right, can't do gun. Do poison gun. Of course I picked the location you have. Of course I do.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but the last little caveat with, like, Ryuki Fig Arts is, Sting's contract piece is technically in a set that is also a spoiler for us for Dragonite with 2 other contract piece because of relevancy. We'll get to it eventually. I think we would have hit it by now in Ryuki, but we haven't hit it yet in Dragonite. So. Oh my god. Nah, I can't click. So how were the episodes?
I mean, still good.
Yeah, I was setting up when you were poking me on Discord about changing it to today for TGSR. Because for some reason, Clue's audio was playing through my speakers instead of my headset, but it was playing through fine on stream. I was seeing on OBS, and I was like, why is this happening? And then I forgot, oh, I didn't change over all the audio cable stuff to go through my headset. Which is why that was happening. Because I also have to, like, change... If I decide to watch anything through VLC, I have to change it to go through my speakers, because otherwise I can't hear anything.
Mm.
And VLC is kind of my default media player on my computer. Oh, I found out a fun little, like, tidbit that's related to the Direct.
Okay.
So, Pyramithra from Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is the Smash character. Apparently on Amazon Japan, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is sold out now. Because of that announcement. Which is kind of one of those, wow, I guess this is why they do stuff like this, in order to boost sales. Who would have thunk that? And bear in mind, like, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is, like, I think from the launch year of the Switch. I think. Let me check. Yeah, it's from the first year of the Switch, because it released December of that year. So, it's not like there isn't, like, a shortage of copies laying around. Like, no, I'm sure there's plenty of copies laying around. Because I think it sold well, too, when it released. But I do have to remember that even though I've highlighted everything from this weekend, I still have today and tomorrow to highlight on like Wednesday. Assuming we still do Halo tomorrow.
I mean, unless you want to do otherwise, then yes.
Nah, I'm fine. Well, we'll do the Halo tomorrow. I try to make sure I get everything highlighted on like Monday or Tuesday in case I forget, just so like I'm not at risk of losing it. That got me. I wish that got me more than one. Scarlet? Okay, Scarlet. So, which of those other two cards is in your hand? Because you should have won the game right there, but you didn't. So, which one of those is in your hand?
Yes.
God damn it. I hate this. Unfortunately, I didn't help there because I stopped that guess right at the weapon. And right before we could get an answer. Well, I guess the good news, since we canceled last night, I got to watch Elimination Chamber.
Ah.
Unfortunately, I got to see the last match, which ended with Drew McIntyre winning, which was cool. So he, you know, kept the WWE Championship that he's had for a while. Bad news. Miz, who's had the Money in the Bank for a while, cashed in and won the belt, and now Miz is the WWE Champion in the year of 2021. Which, you know, everyone's so excited about, because Miz is a wonderful WWE Champion. It's not really. It kind of sucks. And this is all, because the writing's on the wall. The only reason Miz has the belt is so he can drop that belt to Bobby Lashley. So that Bobby Lashley can take the belt into WrestleMania, so that him and Drew McIntyre can fight for it. So Drew can win the WWE Championship in front of a live audience, because there will presumably be a live audience at WrestleMania this year. To some degree. That is the only reason this has happened, and it sucks, and it's stupid. There's a reason that I only watch wrestling anymore through people who review it and talk about it in the occasional pay-per-view when I get to watch one. So we have 2/3 of our answer now. So I assume Blowpipe is in Scarlett's hand. So the weapon is something else. Which, that other guess was, like, Meadowbrook, like, was it Blowpipe Printing Press? Is what she guessed. And she got it wrong, so that pretty much means that, like, the weapon was the wrong one. Oh no, it was Sword Printing Press. So Sword's not it. Okay, Orchid, do you have the answer? This game's just turned into a clusterfuck at this point. Jesus. There it is. Oh well. Let me update the dashboard real quick. Oh. Oh. Not up there, down there. Alright, got the dashboard up to date.
Okay.
I guess let me know when.
I guess we're good.
Alright, I'm gonna take the stream down. We'll be right back with TGSR for the week, folks. Stay tuned.